Hello, welcome to our next session of SAP Security course. Today, we will review vulnerabilities that have been fixed in SAP in June 2024. This slide shows 13 fixed vulnerabilities. Let's review vulnerabilities and their proof of concepts. The first vulnerability is cross-site scripting in financial consolidation. From the description, you can see that SAP fixed two vulnerabilities, and exploiting those vulnerabilities requires authentication. Our analysis shows that vulnerabilities exist in web services in the SAP Financial Consolidation program. Next is a denial of service vulnerability in the SAP AS Java stack. From the description, you can find that the vulnerability exists in the MMR module of SAP Application Server Java. We have downloaded outdated and updated versions of the software and detected that the performance module has been moved under authentication. Here, you can see the proof of concepts of the vulnerability. If you open this URL in your SAP server and you can see a web content, it means the vulnerability exists. The next vulnerability is a denial of service of the SAP ABAP platform. Here you can see the vulnerable ABAP function. From the description of vulnerability, you can see that the vulnerable function is importing parameter times, and if the times will be more than 250,000, the server will crash or long time will be unavailable. The next vulnerability is the unrestricted file upload vulnerability. When we download SAP patch from the SAP portal and upload to SAP S/4HANA server, you can see the changes of the ABAP code. You can see that the patch code now is checking that your file that is uploading to the SAP server should be XML or in plain format, otherwise file will not be uploaded. Let's move to review other vulnerability, missing authorization check. The description shows that the vulnerability is available in the Manage Incoming Payment Files module. In this image, you can see the method that has been patched. And from code changes, you can see that authorization check has been added to the code. The next vulnerability is cross-site scripting in SAP CRM. To download the patch, we should open the detailed information about the vulnerability, press on download icon from the right top position. The downloaded file should go to the S-Note transaction code and click on the short title of the vulnerability. In the code changes, you can see that has been removed unencoded text printing on the page. Now, to secure printing to the page is using JavaScript and HTML formatting. Next again is a cross-site scripting of vulnerability in ABAP. Let's download the patch from SAP Launchpad and upload it to S-Note transaction. By reviewing the changes, you can see that user input values has been removed from the old code to prevent bad chars injection to the page. Let's move to another vulnerability review. The vulnerability is missing the authorization check. From the detailed information of the SAP Note review, you can see the list of the functions that have been fixed. And from the code changes, you can see the authorization check that has been added to fix the vulnerability. Let's review another missing authorization vulnerability in ABAP stack. In this slide, you can see the vulnerable function, and here you can see the check that has been added to prevent the vulnerability. Let's review another vulnerability in the Java application server. The type of vulnerability is informational disclosure. After analyzing the SAP Note, we can see the package where the vulnerability has been detected. Our analysis shows that the vulnerability is available in the P4 server. In the screenshot, you can see the part of proof of concept. Let's analyze another issue regarding authorization. This vulnerability is an update of the SAP Security Note that was released a few months ago. In this slide, you can see the vulnerable functions, methods, and programs, and if you open the code fix part, you can see that developers have been added an authorization check part of vulnerable functions. The next vulnerability is detected and fixed in SAP Business Object Software in the scheduling module. The vulnerability available in Unix systems only and allows an authenticated attacker discover password for system local account and log into OS that allows read or write files in Unix system. The last vulnerability of SAP Security Patch Day June is missing authorization check in SAP Bank Account Management. From the vulnerability description, you can see that this is an update of the SAP Security Note that has been released a few months ago. If we download the patch and upload the S-Note SAP transaction, we can see ABAP code fixes that has been applied in ABAP code. Thank you for watching. In the future, we will release videos that provide a detailed review of other SAP security patch updates to help you detect vulnerabilities in your SAP system. See you in the next chapter.